What is up, guys? Welcome to the Day 35 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. The James Harden Clint Capella pick and roll is a thing of beauty. Actually, the entire Houston Rockets offense is a thing of beauty. They're playing at a really high level right now. They're now 11-6 and definitely one of the better teams in the West. I'd be surprised they didn't land a top 4 seed. James Harden had a game with 38 points, 10 assists. Clint Capella had a good game, of course, being set up a lot by James Harden. He had 21 points and 9 rebounds, and then Eric Gordon gave you 26 points off the bench. So a really good game for the Houston Rockets as they beat the Portland Trailblazers 130-114. 130 points. Yet another team scores over 130 on the Portland Trailblazers. And this needs to be addressed. The Portland Trailblazers defense absolutely needs to be addressed. I glazed over it some in the past, but no, now I'm going all in. And to put it nicely, in the nicest way I could possibly ever put it, in the nicest way anyone could ever possibly describe the Portland Trailblazers defense. It is absolutely a mockery. It is trash. It is the worst defense I have ever seen. It is 100% garbage. There is no defense out there being played. There is no saving the Portland Trailblazers without them playing some defense. They're going out there and getting exposed by every single team. I guarantee you a low-scoring team like the Memphis Grizzlies will go out there and drop 150 on Portland. If you're a Portland fan, that might have been a bit harsh, but the truth hurts. And if you haven't realized this truth yet, then you have to wake up. This Portland Trailblazers team needs to play defense, and I get it, yo. I get it. Al-Farouq Aminu is one of their best defenders. He's one of their best defenders, one of their best rebounders. He's been out for the past few games. I get it. And then, of course, you can say that Festus Ezeli hasn't played yet, and he's supposed to be a better defender than what they have in Mason Plumlee. I get it. But defense is a team activity. I'll admit, before making this video, I was thinking about looking at players the Portland Trailblazers could trade for to help them improve their defense. But that's not what needs to be done. The whole team needs to buy in on playing defense. You can put a great defender on this Portland Trailblazers team, but it won't matter too much. Do you know why? Because one defender can't defend 5 players. That's the truth. You can't defend 5 players with one defender. So even if you put a great defensive player like Kawhi Leonard onto the Portland Trailblazers team, they'll still be getting 130 points dropped on them every single night because Kawhi Leonard cannot stop everyone. The whole team has to go out there and play some freaking defense. Play some freaking defense, just a little bit. You know, right now they are the worst defensive team, one of the worst defensive teams in the NBA. The only team letting people score more against them is the freaking Brooklyn Nets. Yo, the Portland Trailblazers are giving up over 113 points per game. The Brooklyn Nets are giving up 114. But the Portland Trailblazers also rank in the bottom in rebounds, steals, and blocks. Offensively, they are great. They're among the league leaders in basically every offensive statistic. But when it comes to the things that get the win, like playing some defense, grabbing some rebounds, stuff like that, near the bottom. If you're just trying to outscore the opposing team every single night, the only team you have a realistic chance of beating is the Brooklyn Nets because they are the only team in the league playing worse defense than you. Unless the other team has an off game offensively or are missing shots, the Portland Trailblazers are struggling because you cannot beat teams solely off offense. I don't know what else to say. I do not know what else to say. You cannot beat teams solely with your offense. Great offensive team. Absolutely fantastic offensive team. Need to work as a team to get better on defense. In practice, don't even run any offensive sets. Just play defense. I don't care who you play. Just play some defense. You know who was playing some defense last night? Swaggy P and the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, this is why I say the Portland Trailblazers need to play some defense. And Swaggy P, Mr. Absolutely No Defense his entire career, can come out this year past his prime. He's now in his 30s. I don't know exactly how old he is, but still, if Swaggy P can learn to play defense, the Portland Trailblazers can. But I'm not talking about the Trailblazers anymore. Let's talk about the Lakers. They were out there doing their thing. The Lakers are so much fun to watch. Overall, they play a great team basketball. They were missing starters, yo. D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle did not play this game, and they still got the job done over a pretty good team in the Atlanta Hawks. Swaggy P is starting to become one of my favorite players. I'm not even gonna lie. He is starting to become one of my favorite players. He is so much fun to watch. Not only did he actually get some playtime because he plays defense. Jordan Clarkson is still having himself an amazing year off the bench. And Lou Williams, this just shows how important a coach is. Lou Williams last season had one of the worst seasons he has had in a really long time. He's always been, you know, a great guy coming off the bench, but this year he's looking better than ever. Last night he came off the bench for 21 points and he was huge. He was hitting like long threes, making tough shots and ones. He was everywhere doing everything offensively. Offensively, this team just plays together. They're always making the extra pass, always looking for the open player, just Unselfish basketball. That's what Luke Walton has taught them to play. Unselfish, good team basketball, and some good team defense. Hats off to Luke Walton, yo. Hats freaking off to Luke Walton. You have done an amazing job with this Lakers team. Hats back on for me. Listen to the starting lineup and tell me if you think that this will be a good team. Nick Young, Jose Calderon, Timofey Mozgov, Luol Deng, and Thomas Robinson. You hear that starting lineup, you equate that with lottery. Luke Walton manages to get this team to go out and beat the Atlanta Hawks. That's crazy. What is it about Philly that always gives Cleveland a scare? Philadelphia 76ers are always so close to beating the Cleveland Cavaliers, and then LeBron James just finds a way to take over the game. He's like, yo, no, I forgot. I can't lose to Philly. Joel Embiid apparently likes to play against Philly too, yo. He had himself another great game last night. 22 points, 3 blocks, and 9 rebounds. The big three of the Cleveland Cavaliers just got it done, yo. Kyrie Irving, 39 points. LeBron James, triple-double, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists. Kevin Love played with stitches in his eye, got 25 points and 11 rebounds. Tristan Thompson was also very underrated. He was out there doing his thing, getting offensive rebounds, getting some putback scoring, just grabbing rebounds, getting some blocks, doing a little bit of everything. One of the most underrated players in the NBA. Two really good young teams fought it out last night, yo. The Denver Nuggets were up big. I think they were up like 20 or something at halftime. They were getting it done. And then Phoenix started to fight back in that third quarter, yo. They started to fight back behind Devin Booker and Eric Bledsoe. That's going to be a really good backcourt for a long time to come. Yo, they combined for 65 points. Bledsoe with 35 and Booker with 30. Wilson Chandler had another good game for Denver, though. He was out there hitting shots. He had 25 points. And then Emmanuel Mudiay continues his impressive year. He's been looking pretty good so far this season for his second year in the NBA. He's still a bit inconsistent, but he's showing signs. He's going to be a great player. What is going on with the Clippers? They didn't play that good against my Pistons. I will admit, as a Pistons fan, that didn't look like the Clippers team I had seen this entire season. And yesterday, that didn't look like any team I had seen this entire season. That just looked bad. They have one of the best offenses in the league. And I know the Pacers are a bad defensive team so far this year. And the Clippers only scored 70 points. That tells you something when one of the best offensive teams goes against a not so great defensive team and they only score 70 points. That's 35 below what Indiana normally gives up, yo. Just look at Chris Paul. Look at Chris Paul. He had 4 turnovers, only 4 assists. When was the last time Chris Paul ever did something like that? And the Clippers as a whole only had 11 assists. This is a team that has Chris Paul that averages basically 10 assists a game. Blake Griffin gives you like 5 a game. This is a team that normally racks up the assists, and they had 11. 11 assists and 20 turnovers as a team. That just leaves me scratching my head. If that was me, if that was my team, if I was Doc Rivers in the locker room, I wouldn't even have anything to say for that team. I would just put those stats up on the board and then just walk out, because this is a team that shouldn't know what it's doing, and I don't know what they were doing. But for the Pacers, they will take it. They will take the W. They're still without Paul George. They are now 9-9 on the year as they still try to find themselves both offensively and defensively, which is hard to do right now considering Paul George is always in and out of the lineup. Kings won again last night. DeMarcus Cousins had a good game. 37 points, 11 rebounds. When you're watching the Kings as DeMarcus Cousins, Rudy Gay, they isolate both those players and then just get out the way. That's basically Sacramento Kings basketball. And then, of course, they played the Brooklyn Nets, who continue to slide. I mean, they started off the season doing better than most people thought they would, but now they're doing exactly what people thought they would. Like I said earlier, they are the worst defense in the league. They gave up 122 points last night to the Sacramento Kings. Jeremy Lin is still out. Brook Lopez is still hitting threes, which is nice. He learned to shoot threes over the summer, which is amazing. The Milwaukee Bucks beat the Orlando Magic. Evan Fournier is having a pretty nice year. He's one of the better shooting guards in the league that no one really talks about. The Orlando Magic are just one of those confusing teams. Like, no one quite knows what they did. No one knows what they did. That's basically what I can say. They gave up basically all their good young players. Well, not really. They gave up Tobias Harris and Victor Oladipo, and they got back Serge Ibaka, who's going to be a free agent. And I guess I just don't know what they were trying to do. Aaron Gordon was absolute trash last night. 0 for 12 from the field. 0 points. He did have 8 rebounds, but 0 for 12 from the field is just as bad as it gets. Finally, a heroic effort from Anthony Davis doesn't even get them a win over the Dallas Mavericks. They go on a 4-game winning streak. They lose to the Blazers. All right, that's acceptable. And now they lose to the Dallas Mavericks when Anthony Davis has a great game. 36 points, 13 rebounds, and an L. against the worst team in the NBA. Do you know how disheartening that must be? You know what it must feel like to go out there and lose to the worst team in the NBA when you have another great game? Do you know the pain that Anthony Davis must be feeling right now? I don't think you do. I don't think anyone could imagine the pain that Anthony Davis is feeling right now. Going out there, being one of the best players in the NBA. One of the best players in the NBA. By far one of the best players in the NBA. And racking up an L against the Dallas Mavericks, whose owner Mark Cuban says they refuse to tank even though they are 3-13. Why would you not tank? He still hopes they can make the playoffs. For what? For what do you need to make the playoffs for, Mark Cuban? What do you gain if you somehow manage to scrape into the playoffs, which you are not going to? What do you gain? This isn't a young team that needs playoff experience. Your best player, Harrison Barnes, has plenty of playoff experience already under his belt. What you need is some more talent, and where you're going to find that is the NBA draft. Maybe you're just saying you're not going to tank because you don't want to seem like you're tanking, you don't want to tell the fans that you're tanking, but I pray that you are actually aiming for the lottery. I pray that you're aiming for one of the best draft picks you can possibly get, because getting swept in the first round by the Golden State Warriors or the San Antonio Spurs is not a plan to get better. And that about wraps it up for the Day 35 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, smack that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I do daily NBA recaps, daily NBA videos, just stuff like that. So subscribe if you enjoyed it and want to see more. And you guys already know I'll be right back here tomorrow recapping the action from tonight. So until then, keep getting the Bucks, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!